Hello, everyone. It's Georgia. I know. It's just been like everything has been crazy, and I haven't. I've been doing other things, so I'll show them before I get done. But I'm working in Joanna's book, Worlds of Wonder. As I was paging through this one, I'll have to. I've done almost every page. There's still quite a few, but I thought, and this is kind of a hard one, so I thought maybe I would do it in 4 sections maybe, and video it. And so maybe let's just get started and see. I'm looking to see which side I really want to get started on. They're all pretty neat. So maybe I'll start here at the top on this side and try to remember to keep it in the frame. So I've got actually my Prisma and my geez, it's been that long. Polychromos open. I keep them all in a book. There was a time when I wasn't. I had them all out. But let's get started. I think we'll start from the corner and just work over and see what happens. So let me find my greens. I hope you're all doing well. I've had a lot of good messages from people missing me and enjoying the video that I did do. And I thank you very much for that. I've been learning how to, they call it felting, needle felting. And I'm just pulling some greens. And I used to sculpt dolls. So I found that I'm pretty good at it. Because I've only made 3 things. I'll show you my little billy goat. And then I got an order for, and that's why I'm in troubles, because I'm getting orders already for them. So I'm also making a lion and an elephant. And I made a mouse and a couple of bears. So I used to do clay sculpting and making dolls, and it took forever and ever. But this is sap green. And I pulled these out of Prisma for right now. And I am in the frame. So I'm just going to take my time. And I'm going to enjoy this tonight. I was going to work on one of them, but I decided I think I'm going to take a break and visit with you guys. Let's see how I do. I got me a new computer chair. Woohoo! That old one was getting so old, it was creaking back and forth, and it was rocking on its own. And when I was living in Arizona, I had bought another chair just like it, and it's still there. And I just hated to buy another one. But I needed to. So it feels pretty darn good. I got all my winter clothes out. I live in a small little, they call it a cottage, but a small little house. It's cute. I have it fixed up pretty nice. My son came and had put new flooring in for me. So I got rid of all that old carpet stuff. But I'm quite comfortable and cozy out here, so. And my church decided to rent or lease a part of a church that's not even a block away from my house. So that's pretty cool. It's a good little church. They're young people mostly. Me and one other lady are the only old ladies there. What is this one? It's all wore off. I put these on the end because they're almost wore out. Verde. It's Spanish, so I don't know. Anyway, it's a pretty green. I'll look over here in my new pencils. I have a little stockade of new pencils. The colors I use a lot of. When I went to Arizona and helped take care of my mom when she got COVID a few months ago. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. I think it's one of these two. No. No. Sorry. Here it is. I think it's apple green. It's apple green. I have quite a few of, because I don't live close to I mean, it's not, I live in Denver, so I mean, they are here. But I don't live that close to a store. And you kind of get spoiled. You just don't want to drive that far. Well, this is a darker green. What is this? Moss green. I'm just going to come over the veins a little bit. I was doing that diamond art, if you haven't seen that. It's kind of like cross stitching, but you do it on a piece of sticky paper with a pattern on it. And you follow the colors. I did quite a few of those and I got tired of that. I still have 2 or 3 more left to do. One day I'll probably get bored and say, okay, let's work on this one. 2 of them were pretty big. I didn't realize when I got them that they were that big. I was doing the little, what are they, 10 by 12 or something like that? I can't remember. And these were, one of them's, I don't know, they're pretty big. And they're going to take a lot of time. But they were fun when I did them. My niece gave me one. I said, I don't have any clue. What are you talking about? So she gave me one. She let me pick. You can do the squares or you can do the round. The rounds go a whole lot faster. Let's see, what colors were we using? Apple green. This one, and I think we were using this one too. Jade green, I think. Yeah, okay. Well, I ordered some of those off of that Chinese place, that TUMU, whatever it is. Well, be careful, because next thing you know, you're spending more money than you can even believe on a bunch of little stuff. I got some shirts, some long sleeve shirts for like $9.99 or something like that a piece, and they were they're not bad. It's just the material is different. It's not fabric, but they're not bad. They were nice to have some extra shirts. Okay. Now we got that little one right behind there. What is this? This is Persian green. I think we'll do it in that. But the felting, oh my gosh. I have fallen in love with it. It's almost like as if you took a piece of clay, but this is pieces of wool, and you create whatever you're making. And then you add the color on them with the colors of the wool. And like normal, I've invested in all different colors. And now I found one where they're called wet felting, and you can make hats and purses. It's pretty cool designs. So I watch so many videos, just like I did on coloring, and then I'm ready to go. And then usually I watch a little bit, and I see what the basics are, and then I usually do better on my own, rather than try to follow, just to get the idea what's going on. They make flowers. Some of the purses and the hats and stuff are so cute. and you have a needle and you just keep poking it, and different needles do different things. So you can tell by me talking that I'm excited about it. Okay. Now, we need a different green. Try to mix them up a little bit. Kelly green, let's sharpen it. It was 80 degrees here today. It's supposed to be pretty warm tomorrow too. Oh, I think it starts back here. I've been gonna do a coloring page for 2 weeks since the last one. I haven't looked to see. And that's okay. I have every color book, every pencil. I've got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books of pencils. One is markers and gel pens, though. And one is intense ink. Not ink, but what do they call it? Is it ink? Let's see. Let's try the chartreuse. We got in front of my house. I live in a back house behind the other house in the backyard off to the side. And there's a fence with a gate there by the sidewalk. And along the fence, well, there used to be an apple tree, and it's cut down, but it's still, they left the stump. It's like 7, 8 foot tall. And all along this fence are grapes, the Concord. So they have overtaken that tree this year, which is pretty to look out there and see that. And last year it had a ton of grapes on them, but the leaves hadn't overtaken it so much because I just let it grow, which I love because I don't have a lot of greenery back here. And what I'm getting to is there's like little tunnels in there almost. And it's not like we live close to the country. We're in Denver, on the edge of Denver, though. And there is a refuge. Oh, geez. 6 blocks at least, and then there's a freeway between it. And my landlord came out, which is my ex-husband from 25 years ago, if you can believe that. God is amazing. But anyway, I feel safe back here. And he's not married. But neither one of us are. So we're just friends. But anyway, he told me, he says, be careful. He says, I saw a family of raccoons. There was a wooden fence along the side, a tall one, going down the fence last night. And so it kind of scared me. I thought, well, geez, I can't go out at night because the raccoons are out there. But anyway, his dog, he's a pretty big dog, but he's a 3-legged dog. He's a rescue. He went in there, and the raccoons, I guess, were in there, and so he was out there trying to get the dog to come back, and I guess one of the raccoons was setting up on top of that tree post. I thought the whole thing was kind of funny. And so now we got to deal with these raccoons. There's 4 of them, mom, dad, and 2 babies. So this has been going on for over a week. So and he's not the Johnny on the spot kind of person where it gets out and just takes care of things. But now when it's to his dog, he's going to get out there and get some of those grapevines cut down. Which is a shame because it's so pretty. But the grasshoppers have eaten a lot of them this year at the end. We kind of had an overrun of grasshoppers, which is kind of weird, isn't it? But sometimes they are. I'm looking for something for the flowers. What do we got here? Aqua and cobalt turquoise, and I want a lighter color. What about this one? That might work. What is this? Light aqua. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. I'm just going to try to mix these 3 colors together and see what happens. Not too bad. So we did the light one on the bottom. I never have a full idea of what I'm going to do. I like what it is. So then I decide to color it. And I was really surprised how many pages I've gotten done in here. Let's go back over the whole thing with the light color. Boy, the ambulances have been crazy today. I don't have a lot of room on my desk. I have so many things. I'm drinking my kombucha. I made it myself. I love it. This time I put a little, what do I have in there? Raspberry jam in it. When you make it, the SCOBY that you put in there, it's a little white thing. I think I've talked about it before, but it really eats up the sugar, so you're not really getting a lot of sugar out of it. But it's good for your gut health. Kind of like sauerkraut, dill pickles, anything fermented. Oh, there's a bunch of little one of these. I think I'm out of the frame right there. So I'll just leave it and come back to it. Oh, I'm close. That's all right. Alright, I don't think I'll go real dark with the darkest color, but I'm going to use this one because it'll seem really dark. I'll come back with my light color and go over it. Blend it. You forget how much you enjoy coloring sometimes when you don't do it a lot. I think I was getting to where I was doing way too many. But sometimes it's okay. Yeah, we're doing the bottom, okay. Forgot what I was doing. I think these are little crystals, aren't they? Okay. Sometimes it's hard to relax and enjoy yourself when you know other people are in such turmoil. I guess we should count our blessings, huh? Those are pretty little flowers, aren't they? Okay. Wonder what color we're going to make our little dots underneath it. Did we get them all? We got some down here, I guess. Just looking to see if we got any more. I think I'll go ahead and do those while I have these colors in my hand. Just go back over it with the light color and blend them. I like that. I think we got them all. Maybe some on the other side, I don't know, but we're not going there. We're not going to that page. It's gonna take a bit to get all this done. My favorite flowers. So, I think we're gonna put some blue. And I need some purple. It might be a bit dark. Let's see. Okay. These are pretty little. Hydrangeas. Let's see what we're gonna do with them. Yeah, I think that's better. That purple's too dark. Put it away. All right, these are gonna take a little bit. We're gonna make the outsides blue. Let's see. Some of them are overlapping each other. love hydrangeas. It's hard to tell which ones are the centers and which one are the leaves. I should go through and get the centers. I'm looking. I don't know what color. I'm just going to try to just do the centers. The centers. Let's try purple, purple, purple. Don't do blue. We already did blue. That was green I used. Was it moss green? This is lilac and blue slate. So now I'm just going to hit and miss just to get my lavender into this. It makes it pretty. I don't know if you can see it that well. Got the blue and lavender kind of mixed like they do. So that worked out well. Oh. See if I can find centers. Might make it go just a little bit easier. Okay. So what did we do? We did the blue first. Tried to stay on the edge. And then came back in. Oh, my new chair feels so good. They look like real hydrangeas. There you go. I don't know what color the centers are, but it just seemed like green would be the thing to do. Okay, so we did the blue. I have to keep telling myself, what did I do? What did I do? Sometimes if I color too much, my eyes get to hurting. I think it's because you don't blink, you just keep staring at it. And when you're making a video, you don't get up and walk around every once in a while and do something. I don't know how to stop and start it. I couldn't believe that I learned how to do it in the first place. Okay. Let's use this green. And what green, you might ask, is that? Moss green. And let's find companion friend. So I'm going to put this down so that I have that highlight in it. Let's see, where does that go? It's hard to tell. Put a little bit of that. All right. Thinking if I don't move the book, I'll stay right there where I am supposed to be. The squirrels are out there eating the grapes too. Last year nobody came and bugged them, and there was a ton of them until it started getting cold and they were almost turning into turning into raisins. And look for my eraser here. started watching a movie. I even stopped it and I thought, I think I'll color before I finish watching it. It's kind of weird thinking like I'm missing all you guys. But I was. Every day I think, I'm going to do this today. The time just seems to slip by so fast nowadays, but maybe it's just my age. But I don't know. Just seems like before you know it, you got up, and the next thing you know it, you're going to bed, and it's Monday, and then it's Friday. But I don't have to go to work, so maybe that's the difference too when you get older. But then I hear some people say, that's time drags for them, so I'm just too busy. I just keep myself busy. But I like creating things. It's just too much fun. Keeps your mind busy. I think it runs in our family. My mom was always doing something, making something. My daughter does. Now she's into macrame. She goes to craft stores, what do you call them? Everybody, it's not a garage sale, but it's like everybody gets together and craft show. All right. And we got a little fence here. We might want to try. We got sandbar brown and French gray. I like because there's one gray is more gray and one gray is more brown. So let's see what we can do with this little fence. Does it ever take you a long time to notice something like, oh, that's what the difference is? It's like when I first started Castle Art and Polychrome, what's it called? Castle, what are they called? Oh, Faber-Castell. And these are, anyway, you know what I'm talking about. I may not, but you do. Oh well. I didn't pay attention. I couldn't figure out why they were both Castle, and they weren't. One was Castell, and one was Castle Art. Oh yeah, I have Castle Art. That's right. That's what the other ones are. Well, I'll have enough color books and pencils and stuff to last me the rest of my life. That's one thing. So I think we'll just do these in purple with a little bit of something on the end. I think I might have to get up and turn that fan off. Have an overhead fan on. Because it really wasn't hot until late in the afternoon when the sun came on strongest. Okay. That was the lilac. And now I have the sand. I always like this sand color. Wonder how that would look on the end. Not too bad. Maybe not my best choice. Pick another color if you're coloring. It's not bad. It's just not the I'm going to take my sandbar brown and just give that a little highlight there. All right. Kind of want to do those mushrooms next. So what are we going to do with them? I'm looking over the colors. Let's see. Let's start out with this beige. I'll just color this like that. Okay. And then I'm thinking I don't know if this will work, but this is beige Sierra. Come along the side. I'm going to come up underneath here. I'll do the little spots. And just use this French 70%. It's going to come down around the side. Maybe darken a little bit up here. Just give it a little bit of a shadow. I forgot this one. We left that one out. And then what color should we make these? Should we make them something pretty or something? We could add some color up here. Let's try an orangey color. About that. And then it's called orange. You know, mushrooms, like goats, I'm telling you, no matter what color you make them or what you do, you'll be able to find a real life one. I did not know they came in such a variety of colors. That'll add a little pop of color up here. Oh, we've just been coloring an hour. Okay. It's like, oh my gosh, did time get by? Got some fun stuff up here in the corner. Okay, now I want to shade him. And let's go with a darker poppy red, maybe. Going to it adds a little pop color on those. I'm not even going to do the other side, just one side. Oh, I like those. They turned out pretty darn cute, huh? Okay, what about these two flowers? What should we do with those? Let's make them amazing. Just make them amazing. We haven't used a pink. How about some pinks? Okay, let's try. There's a pretty pink. Deco pink, that's what I was gonna get. And this is grade lavender. That might be pretty. I keep looking at this one, so let's see what it is. Pink. Pink, pink, pink. All right. So let's start with these with the lavender. I've been wanting to do this page since I got the book, but you know what? It just seemed like it was just so much. I've seen some people who have done amazing jobs with this page. with the two of them. So I thought, well, maybe if we just chop it up a little bit, do it in a four-way. Okay. Let's I think we'll do the center with the yellow. And see if I can't soften this up a little bit with the lavender. Okay, I think I'll just kind of do a little bit around the edges with the lavender. There's a bump, whatever I colored on the other side. Oh, I should have a piece of paper in there. Let me get a piece of paper. I forgot. That's a piece of typing paper. I've noticed throughout my book, in different places there. I should have, and I didn't. I had to do a lot of erasing. What is today? Monday? Tuesday? Yeah, because I've been waiting for my chairs. It's coming on Tuesday. And I had to drag it all the way to the back because they did not follow directions, which most of them are pretty good at. It was heavy, that box. Oops, I forgot this little bit. There's some things in my color book that I'm going to felt. So it's kind of like my color books are going to be used for many things. strange when the time starts changing and the sun starts going down sooner. It seems later and later, and it's not even. Right now it's only 7 o'clock, 7:30. Just giving it a light little pink. I'm not pressing, I'm just letting it. And I think I want to get a darker purple. Darker purple, how much darker? I don't know, this is black grape. No, that's not going to work. That's too dark. This might work, Delphia purple. Yeah, that'll work. Goes right along with the kind of the pink. Don't press too hard, Missy. Now let's take our purple. Our purple, lavender purple. And just kind of blend those together. And then I'm going to take just a little bit. That kind of makes it pop a little bit, huh? Okay. Maybe just a little bit on the top. Okay. Okay, so now we have this little boat, and I have some browns out here. Let's start out by I think this is supposed to be like ocean waves. This was beige, Sierra, French 70, and my sandbar. So, are we in the frame? Yep. Okay. Let's do this water. And I'm going to use my Prisma, I don't know, Cobalt Light Turquoise. I'm going to do all the centers. Maybe we'll get those rocks done, maybe. Okay. So I'm thinking we need a blue. Those are watercolors. Let's try Caribbean blue. That sounds like a watercolor. And I do mean to leave those white. I just need to come back and erase it. Might even use my I'm trying to think what that, well, a pen, put it that way. Uniball, white. I want to make those stones more gray. I didn't even check my phone to see if it needed plugged in. And it doesn't say, so I don't know. We should be okay. Okay. Does anybody watch Heartland? If you haven't seen it. I was like, are you kidding me? I won't say, in case you watch it. And you haven't seen it. But you'll be going, are you kidding me? Are you serious? I love Heartland and what is the show with Amy? And why can't I think about things tonight? All right. we at here? And so I don't know what color. I don't really do those things, so I don't know what they are. I mean, I don't know what color to make them. So I know they're not jewels or crystals, and they're white. Maybe let's go over it with white and then come back and shadow them. And our little sail. Kind of the ink kind of shadows it anyway, huh? So let's find a gray, and there is a gray. And this is 30% warm gray. Oh, I'm just gonna say that's the best I can do with that one. Trying to decide what color to make that little flag on top. Let's do red. Kind of orangey poppy red. It's kind of orange, huh? So I guess we need to find the red. Oh, throw it at me. Charisma red. Okay. Still haven't decided what color to make those things. How about Starburst? Starburst yellow. Keep breaking the tip off. Just making like little dots. Okay. All right. Now we have some bottles. Let's do these little rocks. I use this 30% gray to start with. need a dark gray. There we go. Needed to make a little shadow. And just go back over it. There we go. Okay. Well, let's just pick it and do it. So, I think we'll just make the water. This is slate blue. And this was our Prisma Cobalt Light. And so we'll make our little boat orange. Okay. Our little snail. That's sandbar. And our darker brown. I think we'll make the roof. green. And this is the jade green. I love this color. Okay. Now we need to do I'm going to make this look gold. Well, that didn't work out very good. That's all right. That's all right. I need to make that a little darker. This is one of my old pencils. Before I knew even what to do with them. All right. So what pretty color could we make this little house? Looking for a pretty color. What if we go back to our lilac? And we'll come in and shade it. Okay. Just going to fill it in first, and then I'm going to come in with a darker color and do my shading. Okay. What color did we use? I think we did this. Delphia blue or purple. So I'm just going to come up underneath the roof and down the sides. Kind of like that. Getting too many pencils over here. Oh, what are we going to do with these little pokey holes? Maybe just I don't know what to do with the clock face yet. So we're going to leave it alone. So where's the dark green? Kelly green. We're going to just make these dark. There's a couple more. And then down here. What color did we? I think we used this to, yeah. And I must have used this. Oh, I got out of line there. But I'm thinking. Do something. This all needs to be done in some color. And I just want to kind of do it in a lighter color. I'm just wondering if we can't mix a couple of colors together. I just don't want it to be real heavy. Kind of like this. It just doesn't go off into anything. So Oh, I gotta turn that fan off. Feels good. It just my sinuses. Give me 1 second. I wonder if the little raccoons are out there. I don't normally go out after dark except for when I go to church, so I'm not going to let it bother me. I think if I don't bother them, they won't bother me, but I have to walk right past that stuff. Okay, I'm just keeping this real light because I don't want it to be like a big heavy green mountain. You know what I mean? And take away from everything else. In case I didn't say what color my color is, sap green light. I'm just barely coloring, really light. A few of my colors are kind of getting out there, but that's okay. All right, I'm going to leave it like that. Let's see what else. I don't think we're going to get the rocks colored. So, need to work on these little guys. I don't know what's going on in here. Like a storm in a bottle. And what other color? Delphina purple and the lilac. Kind of mixing them. Going to go over it a little bit with this chartreuse. How about a little blue? makes it kind of pretty. Hmm. Beige, Sierra, and we'll just come back in with a sandbar, shade it a little bit. That maybe. And then what color are we going to make the inside of that one? Let's do some oranges. Let's see. Okay. So okay. We got some fun stuff down here. All right, we got some green leaves. just shade it a little bit. Just mixing up some colors here. Hmm. And I love this color. So I'm just going to use it again. Wonder what it's going to look like when I get it all done. Might take me a while. So I got to get them 2 orders done. I'm going to go over it and soften it. Okay, now what are we going to do with that? Well, I just wanted it to look different. And it is. So what are we going to do with this little house? Let's start out with some blue. That's a pretty. Oh, this is a Caribbean blue. Make the roofs. These must all be little clocks, huh? Okay. Got a little red mixed in there with that. That's okay. Make it look shaded more. Okay. Gonna do the light blue, slate blue. Okay. Gotta leave that one there. So we have another cute little house. Let's do the roof in the darker pink. Start bringing some of the colors together. It's hard to color when you got bumps underneath. From the other side. So that page turned out really cool. All right. I don't know what that little thing is in there. Mm. Now I don't know what color to make the background. That's good. We still got a little house now. I think we'll put some of this pretty blue in there. These stones, I'm going to do exactly like those rocks. So, hope not tonight. Okay. I think we're done for tonight. I don't know exactly when we'll continue, but we will get these done. You know, I always like to do a close-up. So I think this will blend when we get all these colors in. That way it won't look so... Right. So let me show you what I've been doing. Let's see if I can get it up a little higher. I'm making these little animals. And they just stand up. Little billy goat with his horns. He's got a little tongue in there. He's going, bah! These are little wattles. Some billy goats have them. He has a little beard. Let me show you my teddy bears. Ugh. This one is for my friend. She says, oh, I want one. She never asks me for anything ever. These are all needle felted. This one here, I knitted on some little tiny sticks. His little sweater and crocheted around it. And the balls, I made his knitting needles out of toothpicks and put some clay on it. I put a little thing. I'm going to be putting him on Etsy. And then my little mouse. And he's got a little tail. I crocheted his little sweater, and he has a key to the kingdom. I didn't have the right whiskers, so I used a paintbrush to put his little whiskers on. But I now have some horsehair, and that's what I'll be doing. But aren't they sweet? I made his little nose out of clay. So now I'm working on an elephant, and that's what they look like. This is just wool. It's just loose wool that you roll up, and you take these little needles. Where's my little thing? Anyway, they're needles, and you poke it, poke it, poke it, poke it, poke it until you start making a shape. So now that he is done, I will cover him with different shades of gray, make his tusk and his big old ears, put his eyes in. And this one is going to be a lion with a big mane, and he's ready to start adding his colors. This is his nose. His eyes will go in here, and then he'll just have a big fuzzy mane and a big old tail. So aren't they cute? Anyway, you're really here to color, but that's what I've been doing, besides this, that, and the other thing. So there we go. So until we come back again, maybe next week, I will work on this bottom part with you. So love you all. Thank you for watching.